Hello, believers, non-believers, and everyone in between. You're listening to Stories with Sapphire. I am Sapphire Sandalo. Now get cozy and open your mind because it's story time.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Stories with Sapphire Live, the last one of 2022. I'm Sapphire Sandalo. If this is your first time, welcome. And if it's not your first time, also welcome. I look like a freaking dork because I'm very cold. And I have my headphones in here. My head is not that big. I kind of look like a gingerbread man. Gingerbread person. So this is the weekly live stream that I do every Wednesday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. I read your emails and stories that may not have made it into a podcast episode or a YouTube video. So this is my chance to get a little more casual, respond directly to you all about your stories. And let me real quick say hi to some people. Hello, Caden, Haya, Dark Phoenix, Nilly, Karzami, Brock, Chazar, Ben Althauser, Stephanie, Divine Beast, Emma Shrine, Zanny Zoop, Miley, Sephardic Hawaiian, Angel Sandoval, Abigail Tantrum, Gamer Wolf 4821, Clovey Hater, and that's as far as I'll go. Welcome. So, like always, at the very end, I'll read a couple of stories and emails, talk to you a little bit, and then at the very end, we'll do a collective reading. I'll do a little reading for you for the new year, what your 2023 will look like. I feel so ridiculous right now. I look so silly, but you know what? It's okay. Silly is good. All right, you ready for your first story? Also, heads up, I don't read these fully ahead of time, don't rehearse them, so it's rough. So I hope you'll forgive me. Drip Monk, what number? I don't get it. Zanny Zoop, do you have merch? Yes, I do. I am actually revamping it, so the shirt that I sell right now is actually the old logo, so you can like wait until I update that because why would you want the old logo? All right, here we go. Let's jump into it. This is the first story. It's called Never Mess with a Nagai Kubi. I might pronounce that wrong. All right, here we go. It's winter, and I still live in an apartment in a medium-sized city, and there is this abandoned 1980s water station next to my apartment complex. I'm pretty much one of the few residents living in the complex, apart from the security that also doubles, as a superintendent. The apartment complex is almost outside the city, completely surrounded by woods. It's almost impossible to get my car out of the parking lot in the winter. I wanted to move out, but no apartment is free to take another person. So I'm stuck in this old-ass apartment with an old security guard. About a month ago, one of my friends, let's call her Diane, moved in with me as a roommate. We grew closer, and she came up with the idea of going to explore the old abandoned 80s water station. I wish I said no right then and there. In the end, we decided to go next Saturday, which the previous week flew by. It was dark, and thankfully it wasn't snowing or raining. The air was still. Too still. Diane and I approached the station, and it also had a sewer system next to it, closed by a trapdoor. It was almost 10 p.m., and we started to explore, with each step being closer to the horror roaming there. "Oh yeah," Diane screamed, almost giving me a heart attack in the process. She found a secret entrance to the sewer system. Since the sewer system was closed off to the public, that meant we could not explore for the lawn, but somehow we found a loophole, and Diane was happy, but I, on the other hand, was not. We went in the sewers and we were, let's say, in the middle, and then we heard it. Sickening, blood-curdling screams coming from the darkness. I cannot really see thanks to my very weak flashlight. What was that? Diane asked. I responded with, I don't know. We decided it would be best for us both to return home, but we somehow split up and got lost. I was worried because we had 2 radios on us, each for one person, but when I radioed her, she did not respond. I decided to go search for her because when I radioed her, all I heard was static. After what felt like hours of searching, my flashlight stopped working. Then I heard Diane call my name softly. Felix? It was Diane, but something felt off about her. When I called out, she came closer. It looked like Diane, but I had to be sure. I asked her, what is the code phrase no one but you knows? After a long pause, she answered, Ophanim. I pulled up my revolver and shot the thing that I later learned was a Nagai Kubi, which means long neck, as in long-necked thing. It let out a gruesome scream and it started changing. It became fully red and had a small head with no nose and no eyelids. It knew I was scared. In one swift motion, it sped into the darkness after I chased it. I didn't see it, but it saw me. I felt a massive pain in my right leg. It bit my leg to the knee and it hurt. I shot it in the eye and with all my might I slammed the gun on its head. It ran off. I screamed so loud that Diane finally heard me. I asked the real Diane the question and she said, Seraphim is the code phrase. I was rushed to the hospital and they thought I was crazy for saying a monster bit me. They were probably right. Maybe it's just Diane that is watching me sleep, drive to work, go for a walk. Maybe I killed the wrong Diane. I hope the thing dressed as her will stop stalking me, because yesterday I saw 2 of them. Ooh, that's weird. I don't know if that is non-fictional. I hope not, because that would be real creepy. Long neck, kind of reminds me of the Rokubi. I don't know if any of you remember that one. I did that for Snarled years ago. We also had a super chat. Adam Lombardo, hello. Sapphire, happy insert name of holiday. I love your channel more than Disney hates Star Wars. Adam, does Disney hate Star Wars? Star Wars makes Disney a lot of money. Wouldn't Disney love that? I'm not a big Star Wars person, in case anyone couldn't tell. Not that you could tell if someone likes Star Wars, but whatever. I just meant I literally never talked about it in my life. Okay. So, and that one was written by Damien, the child in the Omen movie. All right, next story is called Chats by Uli Ramos from the Philippines. Hello, Off the Sapphire. This is my first time submitting my own story to you, and I really hope to be on your channel one day. Well, here you are, Uli. Wish granted. Happy Christmas. I wrote this story titled Chat last year, and now I decided to share it with everyone. The story may be short, but I hope this will reach you. Thank you so much, Off the Sapphire. All right, so this is sort of written almost like poem-like. So I'm going to do my best. I mean, not like a spoken word poem, not like that, but you know what I mean. Okay. I just want to do it justice, is what I'm saying. Chat. I texted my sister, said that I'm going home early from school. I was tired and starving, but barely can walk. Soon I reached our house and stood at the front door. I tried to open it, but it was locked. I tried to yell, to call for my mom inside. Gladly she responded, "I'm coming, sweetie." I felt relieved. After my mom opened the door, I just went straight upstairs. Then went to my room, shut my door, then sit on my bed. Heard my mom close the door downstairs, loudly. I just shoved it out, then went to my phone, checked if my sister saw my text yet. Sadly, she hadn't, but then I noticed I had some missed chats an hour ago. I decided to check them. It was Mom. Said that she's going grocery shopping and she'll be gone a while. Suddenly, my sister replied. Said that, "Mom's not home. Forgot to tell you." I replied, but Mom let me inside, while shaking in confusion. Then she responded, "Don't be dumb, no one's home. You should have known that." "But I just read Mom's message. Just seconds ago before you replied," I responded. "Go exit through your window now," she replied. I was in hesitation, but still did. Once I reached the window and opened it, I then suddenly heard something running upstairs aggressively. I panicked, but still managed to open the window. I jumped without thinking where I am landing on. I sprained my ankle, but barely. Can make some distance. I was outside, looked at my room's window, and noticed someone standing, smiling, with eyes wide open, while tapping the window. Ooh, that one was cool. Thank you, Uli. I do like stories that are formatted interestingly. Sorry, my freaking ear is so itchy. We got another super chat through that. And where is it? Angel Sandoval, thank you for the super chat. I've missed a few episodes and was wondering if any mention of your project you did not too long ago that you can talk about. If you wore an orange sweater, you'd look like Kenny from South Park. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Are you asking if I can talk about it? I cannot talk about it yet, but you can probably guess what it is because it is not something new. That's all I can say. We should probably know next year, I think. All right. Let's see. How are we doing? How are we doing, chat? Let me see. Has anything weird happened to me? So I am currently trying to get back into lucid dreaming and all that kind of fun stuff because there was a period of time in my old apartment where I was hearing stuff constantly. I don't know if it was actually spirits, but it might be auditory hallucinations, but it was so cool. Like, it was just cool when it happened. It just really felt like someone was talking in my ear, which sounds scary, but it's cool. And I'm curious if anyone in the chat has had this experience where you are woken up from someone shouting, "Hey," into your ear, because that happened recently. And it was in the sound of my husband's voice. And then I opened my eyes, but he was fast asleep next to me. Isn't that strange? Oh, Abigail Tantrum, are you going to give feedback on these stories? I forgot I did that. I forgot about that. Let's see here. I'll say the last two were like pretty tight, pretty cool. So I think that's why I haven't given much feedback. I mean, the only thing I would suggest, just, grammar pass, but that's fine. Woo! I'm burpy. Okay. Great job, everyone. These stories I've read so far. Whoa, Ben Altheiser says, I had a voice say, "We're here." Was really weird stuff. That's creepy. Like, who's we? And where is here? Crazy. All right. Let's see. This one's pretty short. All right, this one's called When I Was a Kid. Hi, Sapphire. My name's Bella. I've been holding this story for so long, scared that nobody will believe me. When this happened, I was about 7 or 8. I don't think I'm sensitive, but I have always been able to feel if someone or something was there. I've never seen anything, but this one time, I was playing with my cousin outside on the sidewalk. Me and my cousin were very close when we were younger, and for some reason, I always felt like I could see more when I was with her. When we were playing, we started to hear this weird sound. Me and her both felt weird since the moment we stepped outside. We ignored the sound and kept playing, but then we heard the sound get closer. We finally couldn't ignore it anymore. It was physically painful. We were looking around just to see if maybe it was an animal. My eyes landed on this one car right across the street. I saw something move under it. I pointed it out to my cousin. She didn't see anything, but then a hand came out from underneath the car. Then 2 came out, and then we saw it. It was in a plague costume and was in this inhuman type of back bend. I can't even explain it. Its arms were twisted. Its legs were so long. So was its neck. Me and my cousin just stared at it. We were 7 and 8. We've never seen anything like this. And for most people, our parents didn't let us watch anything scary. We were staring at it for a good 2 minutes, and I think that pissed it off. It started to scream, this unholy type of scream. It pierced our ears. It screamed for, I think, a minute, but it felt like an hour. Then, when it stopped, it ran. I can't even explain what the run looked like. All I can say is that it was running fast. When it left our side, me and my cousin looked at each other in a way where we were asking, "Did you see that too?" We went back inside the house. We didn't say anything to her mom. We went straight to her room. After I left, I couldn't get it out of my head. I was scared to sleep. I didn't for 2 days. After that is when my love for horror started. Any type of scary movies or videos, I really need help understanding this, because for the people I did tell, they made me feel like I was faking. But I know what I saw. So if anyone knows anything about this or has seen the same thing, please let me know. Thank you. Ooh, okay. That's really creepy. So if you really did see that, let's see. So I don't know. What did you say? It looked like it's in a plague costume, in a back bend. That doesn't ring any bells for me, but it could have just been like, I mean, my guess, it was some type of entity that was trying to scare you. For why, I don't know. What did it end up doing? It just ran. Did it run towards you? Oh, it just ran away. I mean, then you had nothing to worry about. So that's the thing with ghost stories. Most of the time, the scariness is just the seeing and the experiencing. But in terms of actual threat or danger, you're usually not. That's just me. Riley Slaya feels like Pennywise, except it's not sewer drains and there's no balloons. So how is it like Pennywise? Just kidding. Oh, can you guys hear my dog crying outside? What a baby. What a baby. Hurry on, time 5:50. Norman, mommy will come. Do you want to see Norman? I don't know if you'll be able to see him. He is so needy. Can you see him? Oh, get out. You can hear him, huh? What a bing bong. Oh my God. Okay, maybe we'll show him at the end. Okay. Norman, you're fine. Oh my God. Okay, this one's pretty short. Let's try this one. Hi, at the Sapphire. Here is one of my stories. When I was around 9 years old, I was on my mom's phone playing a few mobile games. Then my sister came into my room and said, "Hey bro, would you want to go swimming?" I replied, "Yeah, let's go." A few minutes later, I got changed and ran outside. My parents were sitting on the porch while my older sister was tanning. Due to it being summer, of course it was going to be boiling hot. I tried to grab a bucket of water to cool down the steps and the actual slide part of it, because the stream of water wasn't really doing much to cool it. The 4th time I went up there, I had skipped a step, causing me to go full speed down to the ground, smashing my head on the concrete. Of course, due to how hard the impact was, I started sobbing. My parents came running towards me to check my injuries. Luckily, there was no blood, only this big-ass bruise on my head. I didn't want to swim for a while because it felt like someone pushed me, even though no one was there. Whenever I was asked if I want to swim, I would hesitate, and the person who asked me would always have to assure me that I would be safe. I hope that if I ever move back into my house when I'm older, I hope none of this happens again. Okay. So you're saying that you felt like somebody pushed you, and then that's why you fell? Ooh. I mean, that's never great. Again, like when you feel like a spirit or something paranormal is physically harming you, like that's when it's bad news. But I don't know. I think it kind of sounds like that was the only time that's ever happened. So my gut is telling me it was probably, an accident. But then again, I wasn't there. I could be wrong. I feel like if it kept happening or you kept falling, something kept pushing you, then I'd say, all right, you got a little spooky spook on your hands. All right, this is our last story before we do our collective 2023 reading, okay? This is kind of a fun one, a little weird. It's called The Onion Witch by Harley Clown, aka Hayden Cross. So I've done a lot of Harley Clown stories on the YouTube channel. So thank you, Harley Clown, for sending great stories. Hang on, I have to burp. No. All right, here we go. As bizarre as the title of this story may sound, this urban legend has been scaring the people of India for decades. The sun had just begun to set in Delhi, and Jai was just finishing with the last bit of paperwork he had to do before he went to bed for the night. As the sky grew darker, Jai had laid his tired body down on his bed and began to drift off to sleep. He was awoken by the obnoxious ringing of his cell phone. Jai rubbed his eyes and answered it. It was his wife, Anaya. Anaya had been away for a few days, visiting her sick grandmother. "Hi, sweetie," she said joyously. "I'm sorry if I woke you, but I just wanted to tell you that my grandma is back to full health and I will be home tomorrow morning." Jai smiled. "That's great news," he exclaimed. Jai caught Anaya up on what had happened in the days she had been away, and when he was finished, they said their goodbyes, and Jai hung up the phone. Hours had passed, and the night was quiet and still. Jai had drifted into a deep slumber and was about to slip into a dream when he was abruptly awoken by a loud pounding sound coming from his front door. Jai shot up from his bed as his eyes attempted to adjust to the darkness. The pounding echoed throughout the house. Jai thought his wife must be back early. He eagerly rushed down the stairs to the front door. Oh my God, sorry. But when he opened it, it wasn't Anaya who stood in front of him, but an old woman. She wore a long cloak with a hood covering her eyes. Jai, seeing that it wasn't his wife, was disappointed, but he didn't want to be rude, so he asked, "May I help you with something?" The woman took a second before she slowly said, "May I please have an onion and some bread?" Jai was taken aback by this bizarre request. Yeah, is that all?" he asked. "Yes, that will be all," the woman said. "Just an onion and some bread, and I will be on my way." Not knowing what else he should do, he told the woman to wait for him at the door as he went into the kitchen to get what she asked for. When he returned, he handed the woman the onion and bread. She took them and almost immediately dropped the bread on the ground. Jai watched as she pulled what appeared to be a small blade out of her pocket. She held up the onion and with a crooked smile slowly drove the blade down the center of the onion, and to Jai's horror, blood started to seep from the onion. It spilled like a small waterfall onto the ground, creating a pool of blood at his feet. The woman finished cutting the onion, and the two halves fell onto the blood-soaked ground. The woman started cackling maniacally, and Jai slammed the door shut in her face with disgust. The woman was still laughing, and Jai ran to his phone to call the police. But the woman kept laughing outside, and it sounded like it was getting louder. The laughter surrounded Jai and was getting louder and louder. Soon, the laughing turned into screaming, blood-curdling, ripping, and tearing screaming. Jai covered his ears with his hands as the screaming echoed throughout the house, getting louder and louder. Jai started to feel a horrible stabbing pain in his stomach, and then everything went black. Anaya arrived at the house in the early morning, excited to see her husband after a long time away from home. The moment she approached the front steps, she was startled to see the two halves of an onion and a pool of blood that had soaked into the ground. Anaya carefully opened the door, entered the house, and was immediately hit by a putrid smell coming from the living room. She slowly walked over, and what she saw tore her whole world into pieces. Lying on the floor were the two halves of Jai. His upper half had been torn apart from his lower half. Blood covered the floor, the walls, and the furniture. His intestines were strewn out all over the floor. Anaya fell backward and screamed. She bolted for the front door and swung it open, but was stopped by someone standing in the doorway. An old woman in a long cloak with a hood covering her eyes. Before Anaya could get past her, the woman asked, "May I please have an onion and some bread?" What? Oh man, I love how kind of random that is. I do like that one though. That's cool. I think the only thing, I mean, it's definitely like urban legend status, and a lot of urban legends don't explain themselves into oblivion because it's just supposed to make you feel creepy. But for me, what's missing from that is like, it just needs like one more step, because I don't, and again, I know this is an Indian urban legend, so like maybe there's something lost in translation, lost in like that I'm missing culturally. Maybe onions represent something. I'm not really sure, but I'm missing that, where it's like, why an onion? Why? What's this woman's deal? I'm just like missing like one more thing. Even though, yeah, it's like the idea of a woman going around, but I guess like that's the thing, that the ending doesn't really like hit me, because the woman's asking for this bread and this onion, but like the woman could just not give that to her, and she could just like run past, So there's no obligation for her to like fall into this trap that her husband has fallen into. You got it. But yeah, cool. I mean, it's a cool story, but I have notes. I'm just kidding. All right, y'all. That was your last story of 2022, and now it is time to do our collective reading. So what is your message to carry into 2023? All right, let's shuffle these. I heard 3. All right, your message for 2023 is... Aw, I love this card. Spirit Fox, trust your talents in changing times. I feel like we might have actually heard? We've gotten that one before, but I'll read it to you again because it's a good one. Where is the Spirit Fox? I do like Spirit Fox. Foxi? Foxes. Fox. Stupid. All right. Message for you. Stay alert as change is in the air. The Spirit Fox features my favorite animal of all time, the red fox, an amazingly resilient creature able to survive in urban environments or the freezing temperatures of the Arctic. Foxes know what it's like to be hunted. For centuries, they have been sought for their precious fur when all they want is to survive. So the Spirit Fox can help you overcome the energies of adversity and unfair treatment. Also, as urban foxes hide in cities and go about their business in the darker hours, the fox offers the medicine of blending in. The energies around you are changing at this time, and although it may not always be comfortable, you are equipped with all that you need to survive this shift. You are being presented with opportunities to reach spaces you've never encountered before, and this can make you feel on edge. But be open to the shifts occurring because they really are the answers to your prayers. The experience of being hunted or threatened is now behind you, and you are being invited to come out from your den and reveal your glory and talents. call upon Spirit Fox Medicine to help you be seen for who you are and trust in your talents in order to be the best you can be in these changing times. Oh, it's people asking for the card. It's literally just like a fox. Spirit Fox. I love it. It's just like a red fox with feathers in its fur and some cool symbols that I'm not sure what they mean. Oh, I love that. I'm pretty sure we've gotten that on the stream before, but that's always such a good one. And honestly, super resonates with me. So I hope it resonates for you. But I believe it is the end of our time. Thank you all for joining me. This will be the last Stories with Sapphire live for the end of the year. I will be doing the vibe stream still tomorrow. So that will be the last live stream of 2022. And then I'll return. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. I've been in a weird mood lately, not wanting to do things, but I think that's everyone. Everyone needs a break, yeah. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining me. Thank you, Ben, for the last minute super chat. And I will see you all tomorrow, and then I'll see you all next year. So I hope you all have a great holiday season, whatever you celebrate, and I will see you soon.